Hey everybody, welcome to another action-packed, exciting episode of Scotty's Record Shop. Been a little laxed with these videos lately. There's been a lot going on here. Not to get too personal, but my viewers have kind of maybe grown accustomed to 3 videos a week. That's what I've been doing, sometimes even more, and I'm not going to be able to keep up that pace, I think, for a little while. Not even sure if I'm going to be able to keep up that pace, period. At least try to get a video out a week. But lot going on. Um, should I say it? Yeah, what the hell, I'll say it. So, marriage of 26 years, kaput. That kind of went in the crapper. Uh, was semi-retired, thought I wasn't going to be working again, ended up getting a job that I couldn't really refuse. It was an offer I couldn't refuse. You know what I mean? It was a good deal, so I'm going to take it. So life has been kind of up and down and crazy, especially for the last couple of weeks. But I'm here. Part of the reason I'm here is because of a passing that's already been addressed by a few people. But I thought that it would be a really good opportunity to bring up and implement it into an album you should know about. We are talking about albums you should know about, episode number 15. Sorry, and it's a Supertramp album because, of course, Rick Davies, keyboard player, co-lead singer, and a person who I don't think gets enough credit in that band, passed away earlier in the week. So I figured I would pull out a Supertramp album. Love Supertramp. I was unaware, a lot of us were unaware of Supertramp before 1974 because they had 2 albums out, but they didn't do anything here in America. They were released here in America, but they didn't do anything. But their third album, many people feel it is their best work, arguably. I think it's their best album. What album am I talking about? Crime of the Century. Sure I'm getting this all in my frame here. Yes, I am. Crime of the Century, released in October 25th of 1974 on A&M Records, just so you know the inner sleeve. You've got lyrics here. It's very nice, isn't it? And I'm sure if you've been a collector for a while, you know what the old mid-70s A&M label looks like. I don't know why that never really comes out looking so good here. Something like that, okay. Anyway, released in October of 1974. It had their first charting single here in America and basically around the world. But the odd thing was, the Americans didn't go for the A side of the single. It's a classic now, but it did not get the just due that it deserved. In America, they flipped the 45 over and played the B side. The A side was Dreamer. Big hit all across Europe. Huge hit. Very British. Very British. This is a very British sounding band. Oddly enough, radio stations flipped it over and played Bloody Well Right. And that made it up to number 35 in the Billboard charts. I don't know if it was an accident that it was flipped over. Some people, I've heard stories that it was actually issued as the A side and pushed. That was the plug side, not Dreamer. People said, "Oh, if Dreamer would have been the plug side, it would have done much better than 35." I don't know about that. I don't know if America was really quite ready for this yet. This did sell pretty good here in America initially. Over time, it sold really well. Here, because I am in America, I'll talk more about its progress here in America. The song that really got played, other than Bloody Well Right, was School, the opening track to this album. That got played a lot here in America. Bloody Well Right, Rick was the one that sang that song and co-wrote it. Everybody, it's kind of weird. When a lot of people think of Supertramp, they think of Roger Hodgson. I mean, Roger wrote a lot of the songs. He sang a lot of the hits, not all of them, but he sang a lot of them. Um, but but Rick Davies sang, "Bloody Well Right." He sang "Goodbye Stranger." He sang on this album. He sang "Crime of the Century." So and he was a very pivotal part. And once Roger Hodgson left, you know, people thought Supertramp is dead. Of course, Roger left. Not knocking Roger. Roger was great, but Rick kept it going and did a fairly good job. I'm not the biggest fan of the post Roger Hodgson stuff. It's okay. It's not bad. Um, but really, for me, the magic is when these two guys were together, working together. The conflict that they had. It really just gelled into something. That tension gelled into something really, 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 really good. Of course, I'd mentioned School, Bloody Well Right, um, Dreamers, a great song, Crime of the Century, Asylum is just uncomfortable. They want you to feel like you're inside of an asylum with somebody who's just completely gone. And I spent many, many, many years in my little nursing career working on psych units. So I know, I witnessed a lot of this stuff, and I think they did a really interesting job of portraying that with the song Asylum. But if you, for some strange reason, have never heard of this album, or really just never heard of Supertramp, or you just know of the album but you've never listened to it, or if you haven't listened to it for a long time, I strongly recommend that you pull this out or you stream it or whatever you feel like doing if you have it. Streaming services everywhere. It's easy to get at. Albums you should know about. Episode number 15, Supertramp's Crime of the Century. Alrighty, as always, I want to thank... We did get a few new subscribers, so hello to you guys. As I always say, I appreciate each and every one of you. I sincerely do. I will do my best. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe and share. Please, please, please. I would really like this channel to grow. I'm really trying hard here. In spite of life and all the crap it's throwing at me, I'm still trying to be somewhat vigilant on videos here. So hang on. I'm gonna do my best to get these things pumped out. I sincerely appreciate you sticking with me. And until next time, everybody, peace and love.